You're sitting in your car, the one you bought 3 years ago when you got your first real job. Brand new, $42,000. You were so excited. After years of college, you finally deserve something nice. You just looked up what it's worth now. $23,000. You still owe $31,000. You've been paying $715 a month for 3 years. That's over $25,000 in payments, and you're $8,000 underwater on a truck that loses value every single month. And you're not even halfway done paying for it. That moment when you see those numbers, that's when it hits you. This one decision at 23 has already cost you $30,000. Money that could have been growing for you has been evaporating into a depreciating asset. It's just one of 4 catastrophic financial traps that destroy people in their 20s. They don't feel like traps when you're in them. They feel normal. Sometimes they even feel like success. But by the time you're in your 30s, they've created a financial reality that's almost impossible to escape. You have a financial superpower right now that you can never get back. And these traps are designed to steal it before you even know what you're losing. Wealth isn't built in your 40s. That's just when it becomes visible. Wealth is actually built right now. Your 20s give you something physically impossible to buy later. Time to compound. $1 you invest at 22 is worth 5 times more than $1 you invest at 42. Not because you're smarter, but because compound growth is a snowball. In your 20s, you have the longest hill to roll it down. But here's the terrifying part. Debt compounds the exact same way. A mistake at 24 doesn't just cost you the money you spent today. It costs you the 40 years of growth that money should have had. These traps are designed to drain your superpower while you're too young to notice the damage. The first trap is lifestyle reset. The first trap happens the moment you get your first real paycheck. You go from surviving on $1,200 a month in college to seeing $3,200 hit your bank account. Your brain does a dangerous calculation. I have a $2,000 surplus. I can finally live like an adult. So you upgrade everything. The nicer apartment, real furniture, the $100 gym membership. None of these are bad, but you just traded your financial seed corn for a slightly better lifestyle. That surplus was your investment capital. By 30, the person who kept their college budget for just 3 more years has $45,000 invested and growing. You have a nicer couch and a lifestyle that requires you to keep working a job that's slowly crushing you. You didn't buy a lifestyle, you bought a cage. The second trap is free money penalty. The second trap is the 401k match you aren't taking. Your company offers to match 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to 6% of your salary. You're making $50,000. If you put in $3,000, they add $1,500. Instant 50% return, guaranteed. But you think, I'll start at 30 when I'm making more. That $1,500 match every year for 10 years is $15,000. But thanks to the multiplier, that $15,000 grows to $150,000 by retirement. You didn't just skip a contribution. You paid a $150,000 penalty for the privilege of having a little extra cash in your 20s. You can't go back. Those growth years are gone forever. The third trap is debt spiral. At 24, a $3,000 credit card balance feels manageable. It's just $95 a month. But at 24% interest, $60 of that payment is pure interest. You're paying the bank a subscription fee to stay in debt. If you keep using that card for emergencies, you can pay $1,100 over a year and still owe more than when you started. This is the death spiral. It turns you into a revenue stream for a bank. You can't quit your job or take risks because you're on a leash held by a credit card company. Finally, we have to talk about the most dangerous trap of them all, the status symbol. This is the king of 20-something mistakes because it's the one your friends will actually cheer for. It starts with that car from the beginning. You want to look like you've arrived. So you commit $900 a month to a metal box that loses value every time you turn the key. But it's not just the car. It's the $1,200 smartphone you financed. It's the designer bag that cost 2 weeks of work. It's the $4,000 vacation you put on a credit card because you wanted the photos for your feed. When you spend $900 a month on a status symbol, whether it's a car payment or luxury lifestyle creep, you are lighting money on fire at both ends. Over 5 years, you'll spend $54,000 on that image. By the end, your status is worth maybe 40% of what you paid for it. Meanwhile, the person driving a boring 10-year-old Honda was doing something else. They took that $900 and bought freedom. They put it into index funds. In 5 years, they have a $65,000 brokerage account. While you were trying to look rich, they were actually becoming rich. The status trap is brilliant because it provides a temporary high while permanently stealing your future. You have the success symbols, but they have the $0 net worth to match. Don't trade your 30-year freedom for a 3-year ego boost. If you're in your 20s, you aren't just earning a paycheck, you are building a time machine. But most people are building a machine that only goes backward. Here is the exact code to use your superpower before the window slams shut. The 3-year rule. For the first 3 years after you graduate, make a pact with yourself to refuse the adult upgrade. If you keep living like a student, roommates, home-cooked meals, the same beat-up backpack, and save 30% of your take-home pay, you change your biology. About $1,000 a month on a $50,000 salary puts $40,000 in the ground by age 26. Thanks to compounding, that $40,000 will swell to over $400,000 by retirement, even if you never save another penny again. You aren't just saving, you are buying your 60-year-old self a life of dignity before you even turn 30. The aggressive priority list. You have to stop playing defense and start playing offense. First, take the free money. Get your employer match. It is a guaranteed 100% return that no hedge fund on earth can promise you. Then, treat credit card debt like a literal house fire. You don't buy new shoes or go to brunch while your roof is burning. You kill the high-interest debt with everything you have, because that 24% interest is the silent killer of dreams. The math of waiting. Stop waiting for a better time to start. Someone who invests just $200 a month starting at 24 will end up with more at retirement than someone who waits until 30 and tries to catch up with $300 a month. Every month you wait is a month of exponential growth you've deleted from your future. The wealth gap. While your friends are chasing the status symbol, the new car, the financed phone, the look of success, you are building the reality of it. In 5 years, they will have a used car and a pile of bills. You will have a $65,000 foundation and the power to say no to any boss or situation that doesn't serve you. Your 20s won't decide if you're rich. They decide if you're free. Most people figure this out at 40 when the window is already closed. You're figuring it out right now. Don't waste the superpower. Hit subscribe if you're ready to build a legacy instead of a collection of payments. I'm Sam. I'll see you in the next one.